always. Thank you always, David, for your magnificent hosting and your commitment to this group of friends and poets. I leave on Saturday for Palestine, so I'll start with that poem. I leave for Palestine, not to march, not to demand a ceasefire, not to ask that genocide might end, that starvation might cease, that water be made available, that the gates to Gaza be opened, that children be saved, hospitals rebuilt, people freed and allowed to work, allowed to feed their families. I go to Palestine to bear witness. I go to Palestine to pray. I go to Palestine to learn. I go to Palestine because I must. All right, that's my first poem because that's kind of what's on my mind right now. But the flotilla is very much on my mind, and I liked hearing Ellen talking about that. And I think it was Ellen anyway. And my first thought for this, when the second boat was damaged, and we all know that story, that's going to be part of my poem, was we need an armada of all the people of the world to go to Gaza, all the ships, just a big armada, hundreds of ships. But anyway, flotilla to Gaza. A month after the ship Conscience, bringing aid to Gaza, was bombed and damaged, its crew injured or separated, another ship, the Madeleine, named after the only fisherwoman from Gaza, left Catania in Sicily to complete the voyage to Gaza, yet answered a Mayday call to help passengers of another threatened ship, Sudanese fearing removal to Libya. Yet the Madeleine was herself threatened by a senator asking if activist Greta Thunberg on board the Madeleine could swim the Mediterranean, a sea become a graveyard for those seeking freedom by any means, and now a danger to a flotilla seeking merely to bring aid to the suffering of Gaza. And my next poem, which is rather dark, is called Genocide is Not New. Genocide is not new. History records repeated genocide. One asks why. One asks how. One species can wipe out itself out of greed for land or retribution by murder of innocents. The drowned cannot speak. Those dead of starvation cannot speak. The murdered are muzzled by death. We ask only why those who know of genocide do not come to the rescue of its victims. We ask why and weep at the silence. I have a lighter poem. This was the week of the full moon, and I was intrigued by the sight just before the full moon of the gibbous moon. So I wrote, gibbous to full moon. The moon, just becoming gibbous, peeked at me through a small window riding through the sky, somewhat embarrassed by her strange shape, perhaps not remembering soon she will be full again, riding the sky, glowing, round and bright, worshipped by the tides, inspiring art and love and hope with her heavenly light. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Wow. This way you describe the moon as being worshipped by the tides or by the sea, I never had conceived of the relationship between the two in that glorious way. And you have such a pathos-filled, I won't say pathetic because it has a different connotation in modern common parlance. The murdered are muzzled by death. Oh my God! And the way you talk about different groups of people that cannot speak, and I love the way you talk about the flotilla seeking merely to bring aid to the people of Gaza. Wow! Thanks so much for your very compassionate and humanitarian verses, and I'll stop the recording now and say thanks again, my friend.